I saw you
That's a
bobbing
good
your
song.
head there.
That was a good song. Yeah, that was good.
I like it.
It's good.
Welcome. Well, thank you. Welcome back, Hardin Local, to Hardin Local. Phil Tall here with the second of 4 candidate interviews today ahead of the May 19th primary. Joining me now is, do you go by Pam or Pamela?
Pam.
Okay, that's what I thought. Pam Ogden, the incumbent mayor of Vine Grove, who's running for re-election in a 3-way nonpartisan primary against Craig Boyer Jr. and Selena Hudson. And one more thank you to our 2 sponsors today, the Plumbing Doctor and Omni Design Group. Both Hardin County businesses. Will tell you more about both of them in a bit. Mayor Ogden, thank you for being here. Same format as every candidate. Same questions, same order, same limits.
Okay.
So I'll probably, I'll be cutting you off, especially since there's at least one other person running that's going to be an interview too. So I got to keep those limits and keep it fair. So Let's get started.
Okay.
Tell everybody what office you're running for and why this office specifically.
Okay. I'm running for Vine Grove mayor, and this office has been part of my life for 7 years and 4 months. And I want to continue the work that we've done.
Briefly, tell us, I know you're already mayor, but tell us what happened in your life that led you to run, and also why you're running for re-election.
So, 4 months ago, I was on city council and I ran for mayor. My goal was, I knew that Blake Profit was not going to be rerunning. So I wanted, I owned a business, a printing business, which I still have this stuff behind me. I'm still doing it for 20 years. And 2006, 2007, and 2008 were really hard years to stay open in a small business. So we created, and there was 5 of us that actually started the Radcliff Small Business Alliance, and I was one of them, and trying to help these businesses be able to stay alive. And I got in it and was president for 2 years. I was vice president for 2 years and one of the founding members, and I loved it. I loved being able to help other people and try to keep alive and try to fix things and think of, innovative ways to make everything better. I was one of the ones that voted to include Vine Grove in that. Now I know it's more of a regional group. But Vine Grove is my home. I was born and raised in Vine Grove. I love Vine Grove. My business was in Radcliff, but at that time, I took over a business. I bought a business from my previous boss, who I worked for 20 years. So I just like fixing things. I like making things better. I like people. I being able to help.
Okay. What in your background most prepares you to continue as mayor?
It's funny because I was always a shy kid in school, and I wasn't one of those people that would want to be in the front of the room. Now I sit in the front of the room. It was just, I got where I wanted to make things better. I saw Vine Grove where we were, and I was like, there's no reason why we can't be right up there with these other cities. And I wanted to fix it. And I got thrown into a listening session. It was one of those listening sessions about Fort Knox, and there was probably 300 people there, and I had to speak. And I had to speak on why Fort Knox needed to stay here. And I think that kind of made me feel like, okay, I can do this. I can get in front of people and I can talk. So that was kind of my turning point for me, and I've just grown from there.
Okay. If voters only remember one thing about why they should vote for you, what is it?
That I was a hard worker. That's what I want to be remembered as. It's a hard worker. That somebody, I don't want anybody to ever say I was lazy in this job, because that would hurt my feelings.
Okay. Let's take a quick break to pay the bills. Today's election coverage is brought to you in part by the Plumbing Doctor, a family-owned Hardin County plumbing company run by Glenn and Tracy Downs right here in Elizabethtown. Over 20 years serving E-Town, Radcliff, Fort Knox, Hodgenville, Vine Grove, and other surrounding areas. Fully licensed and insured, 24/7 emergency service, and a 10% labor discount for military, first responders, and seniors. Look, showing up to vote on May 19th is one way you can take care of your community. Calling your neighbors when your water heater goes out is another. When your pipes go, call local, call 765-PLUM, PLUM. That's 765-PLUM. The Plumbing Doctor, experienced, reliable, and affordable. All right, Pam, let's get back to the questions. So
Okay.
if you do get reelected, first 90 days, what's the first concrete thing that this question is more for somebody that's not an incumbent, but yeah,
Mhm.
I'm sure you can twist it around. What's the first,
Yeah.
what's your first thing that you're planning on doing in your second term?
That actually be my third term because,
Third. Okay. Sorry.
yes, it'd be my third term. So I'm just going to continue, and that's what I'm going to do this year. Also, just continue the work that we've got going on. We've got so much going on right now. We have a wastewater treatment plant in the works. It's a $5 million project, which is huge for us because we're expanding our capacity because of our growth. Um, we have so many beautification. We have a downtown revitalization group going on right now. We have a remembrance wall. We have so many things that we're working on, updating our caboose and remodeling that. And, we have lots of stormwater projects going on. We have, we have a lot going on. We have a lot going on with a fire. We're trying to start. We have 2 full-time firefighters and a full-time chief. We're trying to grow that. We're trying to grow our police. Public safety is huge for me. I'm working on updating the farmers market that everybody hated. That we put that cover. It was like a carport. I'm working on updating that. We're trying to get. I'm big about grants. We just received 2 huge grants, and I'm working on more grants. We're small. We don't have a lot of money. I don't want to raise taxes. I don't want to do anything like that. So grants are our outlet, and grants have been good to us lately. So I'm going to continue working on grants because grants can help us get things done that we would never be able to do in the city.
Okay. Funding, is your campaign self-funded, donor-funded, or a mix?
It's been a mix. I said when I started out that I wasn't going to take any kind of donations. And I don't take donations from anybody that would expect a favor from me. I can tell you that. So I've had a few donations. There are people that do not live in our city, that would have no influence over the decisions I make because I'm not a person to do favors. And I feel like sometimes, and I'm not saying anybody else would do favors, but I feel like sometimes people do use that, and it has been a mix for me. Um, I own a printing shop, so my cost is a little bit less than others. So I try to fund as much as I can myself.
Okay. Where should voters go to learn more about your campaign?
I have a Facebook page. It's Pam Ogden for Vine Grove Mayor.
Okay.
Re-elect Pam Ogden, Vine Grove Mayor. I'm sorry, I updated it. And they can go on that page and they can come meet me. I'll be at Food Truck Friday night. I'm always welcome to talk to anybody, answer questions. You can text me. I put my phone number out there quite often. You can
Okay.
watch the city page because the city page is ran by posting on the city page, our Facebook page.
Okay. Great. I'll make sure to tag that reelect page on the comments of
Okay.
this post when it's over.
Okay.
Um, all right. We're gonna take a quick break and do pay some more bills for us here at Hardin Local. Before we get into the Vine Grove specific questions, a big thank you to our second sponsor today, Omni Design Group. Omni is a second generation builder based right here in Hardin County, in Elizabethtown specifically. Josh Branningham and Corey Jewell, born and raised in Hardin County with deep family and business roots in the county. They handle new construction and remodeling across residential and light commercial. Any size home, any size reno, no project is too big, no renovation is too small, and no idea is too out of the ordinary. They're the team that built the first storage container commercial structure in Hardin County over at Heartland Mini Golf. If you've got a build, a remodel, or an outside the box project rattling around in your head, call or text Corey Jewell at Omni Design Group, 270-769-8339. That's 270-769-8339. Corey at Omni Design Group, locally owned, locally built, custom thinking. All right, Pam, let's get into the race specific questions. And
Okay.
these questions I'll ask to anybody that's running for, basically anybody that's running for a mayor seat that I interview will get some version of these questions, but the Vine Grove people all get the same ones.
Okay.
And you're going to know if I got my research, hey, I did this right. The city, the city's most recent budget is about 7.3 million in the current fiscal year. Is that accurate number?
That is correct.
All right. As mayor, you propose the budget and lead the conversation about the city, what the city can and can't afford. What's your approach? Where would you invest more? Where would you hold the line? And how do you communicate those trade-offs to residents who often don't see the budget until it's being voted on or don't even know anything about
Right. So, the 7.3 million,
it?
I listen to my leads. So I meet with every one of them and we discuss what their wants and needs are. Um, and we kind of break it down to what we can afford. We haven't raised taxes. I know everybody likes to say that we have. We have not raised taxes. We have a utility, which is a water and sewer. We've had to increase our water because it was a Hardin County Water is where we buy our water, and it was a pass through from them. So that's happened twice. But other than that, we really haven't raised any taxes. We've had so much growth. We're actually working on a budget right now that has to be in place by July 1. We have a budget meeting next week. I would love for people to come to our budget meetings or even sit down and ask me questions because until I got in this position, I had no clue what the city paid for, what the budget was. I didn't know. And I'm not going to sit here and lie and say I did because I did not. And it is very hard when you're sitting on the outside. Yesterday I had somebody ask me why we let our grocery store get the way it is. Well, that's not, the city doesn't own that. It's not part of our funding. So, and I get it. It's very confusing. Um, you know, right this year we're working on ours. It's going to be 9.7 million. We've grown. When I started, it was a little less than $3 million, and that was 7 years and 4 months ago. So, we've grown. We have grown so much in our residential area, and our downtown is building right now. I'm excited about that. We've got so many great things going on. Um, the I would just say get more involved. If you're interested, don't do these preconceived notion. And I know the world's going for the negative, but I'm not a thief. None of my council are thieves. We're not. We work hard. We are very, very, very frugal. We're the fiduciaries of everybody's money in the city of Vine Grove, and we have to face you all. So we're going to make sure that we do is right. And we don't always agree on what we do as far as money wise goes, but that's why we have those budget meetings so we can talk about it.
All right, that's the 2 minutes on that one.
Okay.
The next question is Vine Grove has grown from about, and tell me if I'm right or wrong here, from 4,500 residents in 2010 to over 6,500 today. And you share borders with Radcliff, Fort Knox, and unincorporated Hardin County. How do you think about the city's relationship with those neighbors, and where do you see the biggest opportunities or biggest points of friction in the next 4 years?
I think everybody that's in government in Hardin County has made a very big effort to work together, to collaborate together, and to be friends. When E-Town gets something, I'm for them down there. I think it's amazing because it's going to affect me too. I can go to E-Town and do it. Radcliff has restaurants coming right now. I love them. They are friends of mine, and I'm not going to sit here and say we always agree on everything. We don't. But, Jeff, JJ, Richard, and I, we have a really good relationship. Keith Tall, we all discuss, we all talk about things. If there's a problem, I had a problem the other day. I called Jeff helped me. We work with each other because not all of us know the answers to everything. So our relationship has been really, really fantastic. I've gained some brothers out of this, some very smart guys that I work with. I'm very fortunate. I think everybody should be that way. There's no reason to be jealous. It's not going to change what's going to happen. I'd love for something to come to Vine Grove, and I'm working on getting things to happen in Vine Grove. It's just a long process. We've never been like a business corridor, and I'm trying to get us there. It just takes a while.
Yeah. Okay. Next question is about public safety partnerships. Police, fire, and EMS services in Hardin County are delivered by a mix of the city, the county, and neighboring cities, and the sheriff's office, Hardin County schools, and the cities all share SRO costs. As mayor, how do you approach these partnerships? And are there specific areas, equipment coverage, response times, training, where you think the city should push for more or do more itself?
So this is where I'm going to call you out. Sorry, Phil, but the SROs are not funded by the cities. They're funded by the sheriff's department and the schools.
Okay.
We don't fund those. We don't fund those. So And that is, like I said, it goes to the sheriff's department and then it's funded by the school system. So I think they do a part ownership of that. Police, and our police is only funded by the city. The EMS is through the county. Now we are working on bringing one of the EMS trucks. I worked with Keith Hall, and we're going to bring one of the trucks to our fire station, so it's easier for us to get the service and the time in Rineyville. So that's in the works right now. It's taking a little bit longer than we thought. Everything takes longer. So that's more EMS is more county. The fire, our fire is mixed with the county. So city pays, county pays them a portion because we go out in the unincorporated. They do get a stipend for that. That is kind of the only thing that's mixed. And we don't mix anything with Fort Knox. Fort Knox is a federal government. They don't care about us cities. They do their thing. They get their funding. We have a great relationship with Fort Knox. I'm a military brat. I love and appreciate all our veterans, all our active duty. My son just got out of the military. So, I mean, we have a great relationship with them. I respect them. We work together if they ever need anything. You know, we have mutual aid also. So mutual aid is not something that we get paid for, but if we have something going on in Vine Grove, Radcliff's going to come help us. If we needed E-Town, I know that. And if something's going on in Radcliffe, I know E-Town and Vine Grove is going to go help. We're not going to leave any of our guys, mainly our police and fire. We're not going to leave any of them without help. And we're going to make sure that that mutual aid stands. That's just kind of an agreement. That's not a paid agreement.
Okay. Well, thanks for the correction. I'll update that. And growth housing in downtown. So there is a guiding document for Hardin County's comprehensive plan, I think. And then there's also Judge Tull's 5-year plan, 2030 plan, whatever they call it. But day-to-day growth decisions, annexation, zoning requests, building permits, infrastructure extension, a lot of that happens, I think, at the city level. What's your vision for how Vine Grove grows over the next 4 years? And how do you balance new development with preserving what makes the city feel like home to people who already live there?
So the city has their own comprehensive plan. We've been in the process for a couple of years now trying to get it updated, which is not an easy task. I know the county has all theirs going on. That really doesn't affect us, but the growth that I'm looking at seeing, I want us to grow. And I know some people don't like growth, but I'm trying to do it in a manner. I mean, residential, we've just blown up. We've got housing areas going everywhere, and that's part of our tax base that we have coming in. But as far as business wise, I'm looking for more like the mom and pop shops, the more of a small town feel. You know, what we have, it needs to be the best of what we have. And I think we can do that and still make everybody feel like they're in a very safe environment and a very, a hometown feel. And I try to do that with my events that I have. And I forgot to mention this last thing. We were just notified that we were voted the fourth safest city in the state of Kentucky. And that is public safety is huge on my list. I want to make sure everybody feels safe in our town. In a world that's kind of crazy, that is huge. That means a lot to people that live in our city. We have a lot of military that come in, and I want them to feel like they can go and do what they want. I don't have to worry about anything happening to them.
All right. The mayor doesn't govern alone. You have city council that passes ordinance, also Hardin County Physical Courts that runs county services, and the neighboring cities, And how do you build working relationships across those boundaries, especially when you disagree on substance or have different competing, goals, I guess?
So are you talking about the other cities have different goals, or I have it with my city council?
Yeah, city council, more so city council, and the county government. Sometimes they'll have, they have goals for the county, and then city council, they probably have different goals. They don't always have the same goals as you. So how do you work through those sorts of things?
So as you grow through this process, you grow as a leader, and you realize that 6 people were elected for our city council for a reason, because not everybody needs, what my opinion is, doesn't always need to be what happens. I've learned that. It's a learning curve for me. It's something that I didn't embrace at first. Now I embrace it more. So I have 6 people on my council. They all have different opinions. I may not agree with them, but I do try to respect them, and I do try to listen to them. And maybe we can incorporate what I think is best and what they think is best. Or I may just get voted down. I'm not the king of this castle. I mean, there's 6 of them. They can outvote me at any time, and they don't have to motion it. They don't have to carry on. That's even the same thing with anything that I bring to them. I can't run the city alone, and I can't make decisions alone. My council has to approve pretty much anything that I do, as far as financially, ordinances, anything that I do. They have to be in agreement with me. And most of the time, we do have most of them that do agree. And like I said, we're good people. Everybody that I have in the city is amazing people. We're all there for the same reason. We're all there because we love the city. We're all there because we want to do the best for our city. And normally we all discuss it and we work it out. Um, it hasn't been crazy like some of the places have been. And like I said, we're there to disagree. We're there to bring our opinions in. And they're there, the 6 of them, and me too, is to listen to our people. We may think something's great, and everybody that lives in Vine Grove may hate it.
Okay. I'm going to give you a chance to do like a closing minute or two here in a second there, Ogden.
Okay.
But before
Okay.
I do that, I wanted to thank you for your time and really appreciate you sitting down with us. And for viewers, if you missed where Pam said voters can learn more, we'll drop that in the comments right after the stream ends. So Pam, whenever you are done, I'll finish and wrap us up, and then I'll log us off. You can, if you want to wait until I've logged us off, that way we can have a quick conversation after we're done. That'd be great.
Okay.
But go ahead and take a minute or two to just have a closing statement.
Okay. I know everybody, I would love for everybody to vote for me. Give me another 4 years. We have so many projects that are in works right now. So many projects I need to finish. It took me 2 years to figure out what I was doing when I started as mayor. That's 2 years right now that we can't lose. I came from a printing business, and they're asking me about sewer lines. I'm looking at them like they're crazy. So, I'm asking for your vote to vote me. Let me continue. I'm not tired. I know 3 terms. Everybody seems to think that 3 terms is too much. It's not for me. I'm not. I'm a younger mayor. I'm used to working. I love working. If I don't work for the city, I'm going to work and do stuff on my own. So hopefully you have appreciated the work that my staff and I and my city council have put in, because it's not just me. My staff is amazing. They work their butt off all the time for the city. I don't think that we need a change in our staff, which would be very scary for the city. We finally got to a point to where, we all are kind of working on the same page. So I would love to have another 4 years. If you want me to stay in there, please go vote. Even if you're not going to vote for me, go vote, because that is our right. And that is what we need to happen May 19th. So please vote for me if you appreciate everything that Vine Grove has done and where we're going. A lot of stuff I haven't got finished, so we need to continue on.
Great. Thank you, Mary Ogden. One more thank you to today's sponsors, the Plumbing Doctor. You can call them at 765-PLUM. That's PLUM, 765-PLUM for all your Hardin County plumbing needs. And Omni Design Group. Call or text Corey Jewell at Omni Design Group, 270-769-8339. 270-769-8339. For your next build, remodel, or custom project, or even if you just have a crazy idea and want to talk to somebody about it, definitely call or text Corey Jewell if that's the case. He'll love it. This interview stays archived on our Facebook page and YouTube channel. Share it with anyone voting on May 19th. And we'll also have on Facebook, they'll delete the live after 30 days, but I have a copy that I can keep if anybody needs to request that, if they want to dispute any of our edits that we may do. We have that on file. You don't have to legally request it. I'll give you the live stream if you request it on these. That's how we're making sure that we stay fair and transparent. Up next at 1:45 p.m. is Andrea Jackson running for Radcliffe. Is that how you say it? Andra. Well, good. Now I know. Andra Jackson running for Radcliffe City Council in the nonpartisan primary. Same 7 opening questions that Pam just had. It's a different race, so she'll have different race questions. Stick around. We'll be right back.